not really sure exactly what is taking Baltimore City so long. But we're going to talk about that, talk about some of these election results, some things still up in the air with regards to the election. Did I say that it happened a week ago? Okay. Here's what's crazy. Georgia is having their primary tomorrow, and they're probably going to get their election results before we do, and we had ours 1 week before Georgia's. So Maryland results not totally done, but in many cases you can kind of see where this is heading in many cases. So results unofficially for the election. Did I say that it happened last week? All right. So for the first ever Maryland primary, they thoroughly screwed this up. But we're going to get into that as well today on the Diamond K Show. So Brandon Scott has a very small hair of a lead over Sheila Dixon. These updated election returns show the Baltimore City Council President Brandon Scott taking this narrow lead over former Mayor Sheila Dixon in this race for Baltimore City. Here's what I don't like about this, okay? They are filtering the results out slowly like this is election night. Finish counting the damn ballots. This number was updated Sunday by the State Board of Elections and shows Brandon Scott with just under 28.7% of the vote. Sheila Dixon has 28.4%. More than 20 candidates on the ballot. More than 20 candidates on the ballot. And I've said this often. I'm going to continue to say this. The Board of Elections needs to be fired. Okay? Fired. Complete incompetence. This is like, they only had one job. Whoever wins the primary is going to be considered the favorite in the general election. This is a heavily Democratic city. So when you look at the difference in the votes, the ballots between the sheer numbers of differences, what do I mean? Let's get into it. Okay, as it relates, whoever the Republican nominee is going to lose as far as mayor of Baltimore City. The person on the Republican side, Shannon Wright, she's been on the show before, and her total votes 1,377, and she's the winner, or she's leading in the Republican votes. Catalina Bird, total votes 880, right? So we're talking about a city that is heavily Democratic. And then when you go look at some of the numbers, Sheila Dixon with 38,655 total votes. Brandon Scott with 39,043 total votes. So significant difference. Now, you may say this, well, the Republicans may get more. Okay, but let's keep in mind that Sheila Dixon or Brandon Scott, whichever one wins, then when people vote, they're going to be, all of those votes are going to go towards the Democratic challenger, contender, so what have you. So you see the numbers are going to be significantly higher at that point. And when you tally up all of the Democratic mayor votes and you tally up all the people that voted with Republicans, it's not even close. So that's what we're looking at. That's what's going to happen in the fall with regards to the voting. But like I said, it's just very frustrating that we still do not have a winner in the race. So when we look at some of the other races, so this was the very strange election here. Very strange election. Well, with regards to the city council, talk about that. City council. It looks as though Nick Mosby is going to win. He is 50,000 votes. And so that's some of the things that I wanted to talk about and I was hinting towards. So when you look at total votes for Nick Mosby, his closest contender, Shannon Sneed, she has 36,000 votes, a little bit over that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven Democrats were running for the city council presidency. So when you have something that's as thinned out as the over 20 candidates running on the Democratic side for mayor, and how diluted the vote was in this race with just 7 candidates, you can see Nick Mosby over 50,000 votes. So when we get to the fall, it's going to be a lot with regards to that as well. Just a lot of votes for that candidate, whoever that's going to be. So as it looks, the comptroller, we talked about this, the comptroller spot, Joanne Pratt, the incumbent, is losing. Okay, it's losing. Almost 10,000 votes separate her and Bill Henry. But it is not over because, of course, both the election officials are just, making a muck of this election. And of course, these are unofficial. We're talking about this is unofficial. It's still unofficial. Now, let's say this. Look at some of these races. And again, the Democratic candidate is favored to win. So when we look at District 1, this was the district that they were had so many issues with. And it looks as though the incumbent is in the lead right now, unofficially. And as we, kind of scroll down the ticket, things are pretty much where they were before with regards to who's in the lead. Just that significant difference was the narrow lead that Brandon Scott has right now. But this could change. A lot of these, city council races, when we look at some of these districts, pretty much where they were. So, but still, because of this mail-in atmosphere, it really prohibited us from making official calls. It prohibited that. But I can't see this going on too much longer. The deadline that they have to release the results before this can be certified is Friday, June the 12th. So we will know who is the winner in all of these races officially by June 12th. Officially by June 12th. So hopefully they don't drag it out that long and just keep, just piecemealing results out. June the 12th is the deadline for certification. And the very able-bodied election officials claim that they're going to have it by that time. But, hopefully, because if that doesn't happen, then it is really going to be a bad a bad thing. So I'm not sure if you had a chance to see this video, but there's a video of a Maryland man. He was charged with assaulting 3 teenagers. In the video, you can see him snatching flyers from one teen, shoving them. They're putting up flyers. And in the statement released by his attorney, a 60-year-old man named Anthony Brennan III of Kingston, Maryland, said that he is sick with remorse for the pain and fear that he caused the victims on the trail. So Maryland National Capital Park Police said Friday night that he was charged with 3 counts of second-degree assault. And this viral video shows this adult cyclist grabbing the wrist of a woman last week and then ripping the flyer from her hand. She obviously was scared. She's a child, okay? With his bicycle, he then bears down on another victim who was recording the incident, intimidating these women. Efforts on social media to find him prior to Friday's arrest resulted in multiple men being wrongly identified as the attacker. But court records show that he was released from custody over the weekend, Saturday. After posting bond, police said that the incident occurred on the Capitol Crescent Trail, which runs from D.C. into Montgomery County in Maryland. The victims were between the ages of 18 and 19. I still call them kids, though. 18 and 19. Said they were putting up flyers to promote justice for George Floyd, and this cyclist just could not stand it. He just, what is this justice thing you speak of? Bystander video shows the Minneapolis police pressing his knee on Floyd's neck. Remember that, right? And these young teenagers trying to distribute flyers about justice, and this idiot cyclist wants to cause confusion. So he's apologizing. I'm not sure how sincere his apology is, but he is apologizing nonetheless. So we have to at least acknowledge that he has apologized. Did I say that this apology does not seem sincere? Because it doesn't. I mean, it's one of those things where it's the thing. It is the right thing to do, so he's going to do it. He feels pressure to do that, and hopefully he thinks this thing will go away. But of course, just tuning in. It's Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire, twice a day, weekdays, 12 noon, 7 p.m. I am here. If you miss episodes, of course, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K, also on radioonfire.com. Wherever you get your podcast, just search The Diamond K Show, and boom, there it is. So also over the weekend, protesters descended on the Middle River crab houses, a bunch of them, to confront the operator of Vince's Crab House over some very racist comments that he has made. Here's the thing that people have not yet understood about social media. That stuff is there. It's not going anywhere. It is there. So later on, things that you say, y'all talking reckless, you're talking crazy. I talk crazy sometimes, but the things that you say and post are there, and it can definitely be used against you or for you down the line. So definitely be mindful of what you say. But in something that should be obvious, you have a business owner who, feels however he feels about his patrons, people that patronize his business. Black people love crabs. All All right, black people love crabs. People love crabs in general, but black people really love crabs. So if black people really love crabs and your business is crabs, why would you be, even if you felt, however you felt, even if you felt whatever you felt, to publicly say it and to memorialize it with the post on social media that can be used against you shows that this operator of Vince's Crab House is not too smart, right? Kind of dumb. He's not the only dumb one. There are many business owners who are going to have to face the results of their actions. Now, I am saying that anybody who patronizes a business where the owners, the operators do not respect you, treat you badly, talk crazy about you, they need to be held accountable. Meaning that you don't need to spend your money there. You're not forced to spend your money there. You don't have to spend your money there. And some people say, well, it's the only store around here. I know they treat us bad, but it's the only store around here. No, it's not the only store around there. You can get stuff delivered. You can go somewhere else. You do not have to subject yourself. That's what the owner of or the operator of Vince's Crab House thought. Like, people just want to come here just because. You don't have to, nor should you, because here's the thing. People are not going to do that with you. Only black people do that. And we have to continue to remind people that whoever you are, black, white, Asian, you have the power of the dollar. It just so happens that black people spend the most money. So, and because we spend the most money, that's why they want to target items towards us. That's why they want to open up businesses in our communities, because we spend the most money. We will spend money when we don't even have it, when we shouldn't have it. We shouldn't even be spending it. But we spend it nonetheless. And what I'm saying is this. I'm not saying don't spend your money. I'm saying don't spend your money somewhere where they do not respect you. You got this guy talking crazy, right? And it's that arrogance that you can say whatever you want and people are going to come to your business anyway. That's what they think. That's the mindset. They're saying, oh, he don't care, she don't care, they don't care what I say, they gonna come here and buy my items. That's what they think. I think that the time for that kind of thought process is over. You don't have to do that, nor should you. We talk about what's the difference? Is this going to be a real difference in the protests that are happening now? Definitely can be if we continue to put our foot down and not take this treatment. So the economic factor is significant. Ladies, stop going to the nail salon where they treat you all bad or talk crazy. Now, if they treat you nice, that's something different. But what I'm talking about is you have to feel comfortable. And if you find out how these people really feel about you, about us, then don't support them if it's something that's negative. You don't have to get your nails done there. You can get your nails done somewhere else. The beauty care, the beauty supply store, right? If they make you feel crazy in there, but you just go there because what? Just because you've been going there, because you don't want to find somewhere. I mean, it's all the same stuff, but you can find a business, and we have to start getting this together. Listing, and a lot of people have compiled lists, and please send me some links to lists of businesses that people can choose from. Let's make this a little bit easier, because some people may say, well, I don't know where to go, or where can I get this service or product from? I don't know. And if we make it more accessible, then people will do it. Just like the internet showed us the racist comments of the operators of Vince's Crab House. The internet did that. And the internet's how you're seeing this show or listening to this show. And the internet is also going to be the tool that we use to pass the business names and information to people that need it. The internet, right? So we definitely want that to happen. And it's very, very important. So we're talking about the nail salons. We're talking about the hair care stores. We're talking about food establishments. All of that. The carry out, definitely the carry out. The corner store, the convenience store. These are all places, the liquor store, all places that they open up in the hood. Now, if you say this is the only liquor store around here, well, I mean, I don't drink, but I'm just saying, if you gotta get your liquor, you need to get it from somewhere where people treat you with respect. Stop making people rich. Stop putting people's kids through school that don't even have the decency to show respect and to not say and do racist things. Now they can be respectful in your face and talk crazy behind your back, and when we find out, they need to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable. These are facts, okay? These are big facts. Your man Diamond K, Radio on Fire, the Diamond K Show, weekdays. So in Los Angeles, in LA, the Black Lives Matter protest drew over 50,000 people. 50,000 folks came out. Now, since the death of George Floyd, LA has had numerous demonstrations and protests, and it seems that the largest one took place yesterday in Hollywood with over 50K. A massive demonstration. Peaceful. Video footage shows protest, large number of people all the way down Hollywood Boulevard. Within the crowd, people were holding up signs referring to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and numerous people whose lives were unjustly taken, murdered by police officers, and others. A lot of celebrities around: Jamie Foxx, Marlon Wayans, J-Lo, many more. Rapper YG, he shot a video for his latest song, Fuck the Police. Reports noted that the police presence was minimal and that the march ended peacefully. So that is that's good news. So now the marching, the protesting has gotten people's attention. Now we need to move forward with the next steps. Laws need to be passed. Legislation needs to happen. Politicians, judges, attorneys, all need to be held accountable. Always. They need to be held accountable. Voting people in and out. And then pushing and then staying with it. Not just, the signs are good, it's excellent. And spending money. All of these factors are important. It's deeper than just this, but I'm not complaining about this. I'm just saying that there's more that needs to happen in order for things to change significantly. So everybody's not happy about the protest. Everybody's not excited. In Seattle, there's footage of a man driving his car into a Black Lives Matter protest while shooting a man through the window before he flees. So these reports surfacing that police now have the Seattle gunman in custody after he drove his car down a crowded street of protesters. This is a real coward. Then he shot a person who tried to prevent him from pressing forward. You're going to see situations like this. Not sure how he got through barricades and all of that. But I guess, when people are doing protests and they just kind of, doing some spur of the moment protests, all the streets are not blocked off. So the man brought his car to a halt as he approached the barricade. It did have a barricade. And it's caused many people to try to reach into his vehicle because the crowd tried to swarm him. He says the man fired off a shot and immediately hit one who was close to his window. From there, the man hopped out of his car and pointed the gun at others in the crowd, which caused the crowd to disperse. 27-year-old man who was shot was taken to the hospital. He was shot in the arm. Seattle police currently has the suspect in custody and was able to get to him before he harmed anyone else. So very similar to the cyclists we were talking about in Maryland. Some people just frustrated. They're just mad with these displays and desires for justice. It's so maddening to some people. It is the world that we live in today. Donald Trump, president, of course, right now anyway, calls out the NFL commissioner for his Black Lives Matter statement. If you remember, the NFL and Donald Trump, real cozy together, right? They are speaking the same language, right? But it appears that they have had a parting of the ways with regards to ideals. Roger Goodell recently issued a statement where he proclaimed that Black Lives Matter, and he admitted that the NFL was wrong for not listening to NFL players about the pitfalls of racism and the systematic oppression, systemic oppression. And I was not excited about the fact that they did not mention Colin Kaepernick. We say the players, you're talking about Colin Kaepernick. Yes, there were others, but the person who was talking about systemic oppression, police brutality, and racism was Colin Kaepernick. So the NFL is looking into changing their stance. Of course, President Trump is not on board with the league showing some solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. He went to Twitter, of course, and he's mad at Twitter, but he goes to Twitter for everything, right? He wanted to call out the NFL and their statement. Trump asked if Goodell's statement meant that players would be allowed to kneel during the anthem. Trump said, could it be even remotely possible that in Roger Goodell's rather interesting statement of peace and reconciliation, he was this guy, he was saying that it would now be okay for players to kneel, all caps, or not stand for the national anthem, thereby disrespecting our country and flag. You want to talk about disrespect? This guy's disrespecting the country and the flag. Despite the questioning, Goodell previously answered that question in his statement, saying that the league is looking to encourage all to speak out and peacefully protest. So the president is catching it from all angles. All angles. Some people are still supporting him and everything that he says, no matter what. But I think that his support in some areas is not as strong as he would like it to be. This movement is going forward. And I want people to stay focused. And after this is over, and as you see, just because the officers, all four of the officers have been charged and arrested, things move forward, because it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. There is a serious disconnect between the police department and the citizens of this nation. Until we have some real change in the policing of people, these things are going to continue. And let's not even say the result of this inevitable trial. That's a lot of things are going to hang in the balance about that as well. And we talk about the change that's needed in the police department. What sparked this off, Minneapolis City, the city council in Minneapolis announced an intent to disband the Minneapolis Police Department and invest in community-led public safety. The traumatic death of George Floyd has triggered widespread protests across this nation. This we know. And ultimately across the world. Now a veto-proof majority of Minneapolis City Council members announced that they are committed to disbanding the Minneapolis Police Department due to massive criticism over the death of George Floyd. So where are things going with that? What do they mean there? They want to replace the police department with a proven community-led public safety. This is interesting. Minneapolis City Council President Lisa Bender issued the statement yesterday saying that we're here because we hear you. We are here today because George Floyd was killed by the Minneapolis police. We are here because here in Minneapolis and in cities across the United States, it is clear that our existing system of policing and public safety is not keeping our communities safe. This is true. Our efforts at incremental reform have failed. Period. And she did not use the city girl's enunciation either. She said, period. Okay? This decision to commit to disbanding the Minneapolis Police Department comes after partners like the University of Minnesota, Minneapolis Public Schools, and Minneapolis Parks and Recreations have all severed ties with the police force. Previously, the mayor Jacob Frey revealed his opposition to disbanding the police while at a protest put together by Black Visions Collective, which ultimately got him booed off the stage. But definitely stay tuned for this. This is going to be interesting. Imagine if this takes hold and spreads throughout the country like protesting has. Imagine if in your city they disbanded the police department and came back with something else, something that was really governed by the people for the people. Very interesting. Like that. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. I will be back later on today, 7 p.m. for the nightly news program. We're going to talk more if we have more information on these election results. I'm going to talk about that. Also, 7 p.m. we're going to talk some entertainment stuff as well. But news as it happens. RadioOnFire.com, on social media at Radio on Fire, at The Diamond K Show. And we're going to be making some announcements with regards to Radio on Fire. Some new additions that are going to be coming to Radio on Fire. And just a lot of exciting things that's happening in these wild and historic times. But we want to continue to bring you news. We're going to continue to bring you entertainment. We're going to continue to bring you original content, and there is more coming. So I'm excited about that. As I said, Radio on Fire, log on and spread the word. See you guys later on today.